तो फिर से हम लोग आ गए हैं डांडिया खेलने। वैसे ये इंडी हॉरर गेम है, देखते हैं क्या होता है इसमें। D1। वैसे मैंने पढ़ा है इसके बारे में, 6 दिन की कहानी है।
The water's cold.
It's a fjord. You're not going swimming.
Boo. You're such a wet blanket, teddy bear.
You know I don't like it when you call
Edward.
me...
Edward Charles Harden, Esquire.
Will you promise to behave on land?
क्या
I always?
बेहतरीन जगह है।
Lissy, promise.
Well,
बेहतरीन।
careful and phonus balonus, Teddy. You ought to know better than to ask. Yes, I'll behave. I'll be a proper young lady. I shan't run or climb things or laugh too loud or call anyone old bean. Aside from you. So, do you think we'll find your Betty in, what did you call this village? Gravewood?
I don't want to say it again, but
Greywood?
to algebra to this remote place so very far from New York.
Grovik. Yes, I do.
Why here? What's so special about Greywood?
She never said. But knowing my sister, something drew her here.
But how can you know?
I just do. In her
Badal
letter,
se
she
kaisa
wrote
roshni
about...
aa
That's
raha hai.
months ago. She could have gone anywhere.
Without writing, or telegraphing her editor in New York, she wouldn't do that.
Ooh,
Betty's...
the cat's pajamas, the bee's knees, Little Miss Perfect.
Alice, you're talking about my sister.
Fine. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Sidarb. We all love her dearly. And Teddy Bear,
टेडी बेयर
Edward.
बोलती है मेरे को। एडवर्ड।
we will find her. Betty's fine. Why, we'll see her as soon as we get to shore. She'll shower you with kisses and berate you for coming all this way from Hanover, Massachusetts to the middle of positively nowhere Scandinavia way just to chase her
Norway.
down. Everything will be jackled, fruit. Is that it? Is that Groovewalk? It looks so peaceful and beautiful and so desolate,
सही जगह है बाकी।
like a place built for ghosts.
घोष बोल दी।
Finally.
मतलब
I don't think I could do this for much longer.
Can't you row any faster? I'm getting frightfully bored.
How about you take over, Alice?
You slay me, Teddy, old bean. Was that thunder?
Still distant. The boat will be in safe harbor by the time the weather arrives.
So you say. But I say put your back into it, because we're sitting ducks out here. Quack, quack.
सही आवाज निकाली। क्वैक 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 क्वैक।
It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
Probably working. I know it's a foreign concept to you, but that's something normal people do.
Hardy har har.
The Fretland farm is up the hill somewhere.
Up where?
ऊपर जाएं।
Where's the farm?
Point press with the world.
I believe it's that farmhouse, all the way at the top.
Hot dog! Let's ankle!
Hold on. Let me read the letter from Mrs. Fretland
I'll
first,
meet
and...
you up there, old sport. I want to explore. Last one's a skunk's tail.
Wait. The ground's
साथ में
muddy.
रहेगी।
It's easy to slip and fall. Walk slowly and watch out for...
Don't be a wet blanket. A little mud never hurt anyone.
Fine. Just stay close.
As long as you keep up with me.
मेरा भागेगी।
Dear Mr. Harden,
I hope this
we would
letter-
like to extend an invitation to visit our home. Troubled to hear of your sister's disappearance. No news to share. You'll find our farm on top of the hill.
चल समरी बता दे रहा
I got
सही है।
that right?
पूरा पढ़ना नहीं
Look
पड़ेगा।
forward to seeing you here in October. Yours faithfully, Anna Fretland.
अक्टूबर, और अक्टूबर में हम लोग गेम खेल रहे हैं। सही है।
Well, I'm here. Where are you? Did you make it to Grovik, Betty? And why did you pick this forlorn hole under the mountains?
चल चल निकल यहाँ से
So
चाचा।
sprach Zarathustra.
अरे रफियन में बोला या किस भाषा में बोला?
Teddy, are you coming? I'm almost there.
On my way.
नहीं मैं बोट लेके जा रहा हूँ तो अकेले
Righto.
जाऊँगा।
Step to it, teddy bear.
I have to look it.
Lissy,
I'm up at the farm.
ओके उधर है। निकोलस बोल्डवन, known as Edward. Sky Bennett as Alice.
Lissy.
I'm waiting for you at the farm.
अच्छा वहाँ रेस्ट भी कर सकते हैं अपन। अरे हर जगह रेस्ट करेंगे क्या? यहाँ भी रेस्ट बोलेगा। म्यूजिक सही है। स्टार्ट में म्यूजिक सही था, अभी भी म्यूजिक सही है। यार जो लोग देख रहे हो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कर दो, अब यहाँ तक आ ही गए हो तो। 1000 सब्सक्राइबर, 1000। चलो रेस्ट करते हैं थोड़ा।
Are you coming?
Just taking a break.
Hurry up. Storm's getting closer.
हो गया बस। कितना रेस्ट करेगा?
Lissy.
I'm by the farmhouse.
अरे वहां तक
This way.
कितना भाग रही है लड़की? Hans Christian Andersen. नहीं अब रेस्ट नहीं करेंगे।
Where are you?
I'm waiting for you at the farm.
इसके तो सांस फूलने लग गया। क्या जगह है यार, क्या सीन है। वहाँ कुछ है।
Alice.
I'm by the farmhouse.
बकरी। Ragnar Tongquist.
What took you so long?
I'm not 17.
Nor are you 70.
अच्छा
Put some
70
spring
साल
into
की।
your step, old sport.
Did you see the flag? It's at half-mast.
अच्छा
Someone died.
अच्छा ऐसा
So
है
this
क्या?
is
कोई
it,
मरता
huh?
है तो नीचे गिरा देते हैं।
Nice digs. But seriously, where is everyone?
Facing mountain, there was no sign of people out of the fire, but he was
This
focused
is
on
starting
keeping
to
doors in the
creep me
water.
out.
He found the silence out, but there are hard-working people with busy lives. Was getting worse, adverse things and it wouldn't
must be
surprising if the
somewhere.
villagers have some.
Perhaps everyone's indoors. The rain's picking up.
You first, old bean.
Hello?
कोई है?
Anyone there?
हाँ मैं भूत हूँ।
Mr. Fretland?
आ जाओ, खाते हैं
Mrs.
तुमको।
Fretland? This is Edward Charles Harden, the American. We've exchanged letters.
Maybe they went on
Americana
holiday
chacha.
and left the door open. Give it a shake and a rattle.
I can't just barge into their home.
It's not a crime if you're invited.
I'm coming in. This is Mr. Harden.
क्या लड़के हैं पीछे पीछे?
Hello?
अरे
Is anyone
अच्छा,
home?
ये।
This house is as empty as a bird's nest in December. Hey, you want to?
This is the kitchen. Hello?
खोलने से पहले पता चल
Anyone
गया।
there?
अच्छा उधर देख लिया था लेफ्ट साइड में।
All right. Hey, you want to check out the upstairs?
I'm a guest. Why would I start poking around every corner of the house?
Oh,
करते हुए
this
बोलेंगे
is
हम।
nice. charmingly rustic. The Boston Beaumont would pay a pretty penny for this setup. I thought foreigners lived differently. This is almost like an American home.
People are people wherever you go.
Thanks, Proust.
वेदर के बारे में बात करें, विलेज के बारे में, वेदर के बारे में
See
बात
the whole village from up here.
Do you want to go sightseeing?
Tomorrow. It's getting late, and the rain's not abating.
Look! Family pictures. They must be the... wait. Is that... Are they... who's... They're all twins.
The
All of them.
That's Johann and Anna Fretland.
There are two of each, Edward. Two of each.
Frederick and Margaret. Twins marrying twins.
क्या मजाक
My
है?
mind's reeling. This is just too adorable.
May 26th, 1899.
Twins marrying twins.
We'll be celebrating their The books are all in English.
Isn't that a bit odd?
Mrs. Fretland is Scottish, though she grew up in Olesund.
Have you been secretly communicating? Well, those boys look proud as peacocks. What does it say there? Groovy?
Gruben, the mine.
Maybe that's where everyone is. Digging for
1897.
precious jewels in the Stygian abyss.
From what I learned of this place during the brief stay in Olesund, the iron mine shut down 20 years ago.
जुलाई 1992 3 सितंबर कब का पढ़ना है? मई का पढ़ेंगे.
Johann Fretland exits Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
So the brothers parted ways?
Johann sold his share to focus on farming.
That must have put a damp
Okay.
on their relationship.
जुलाई में क्या हुआ?
Tragic accident befalls the Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
What happened?
The mine collapsed, killing
अच्छा,
3
छोड़ा?
workers, including Arne Fretland, Frederick and Johann's younger brother.
That's
उसका
awful.
हाफ भाई मर भी गया.
How old was he?
19.
तो 17
Operations
के
were
रहे.
suspended after the accident.
अच्छा, सितंबर में क्या हुआ भी बता दे.
Foreign investors out of Frederick Fretland's mining company. Dire financial consequences for Fretland, who must have had a difficult time after his brother Johann Fretland pulled out earlier this year.
Johann was smart to exit when he did.
The timing is curious, like he knew something was about to go awry. Betty might be with the Fretlands, wherever they are.
Wouldn't Anna Fretland have written you?
She might have. We left Hanover a month ago. Dear Mrs. Fretland, I trust this letter finds you and your husband in good health. Home feels very far away.
Are we feeling melancholy again?
I've never been this far from Hanover.
It's about time we got you out of that dreary old house, teddy bear.
माला निकाल दी.
The thought of boarding that infernal ocean liner again.
I quite enjoyed it. So much room for exploration and mischief.
So many opportunities for seasickness and claustrophobia.
Don't be a Debbie Downer. I'm sure your tummy will be better behaved on the return voyage. And you'll be craving enclosed spaces after a week in this wide open wilderness.
पढ़ेंगे पूरा पढ़ेंगे.
I asked about Elizabeth.
And they hadn't seen her?
Anna, Mrs. Fretland, promised she'd write if she heard anything. The books are all in English.
Isn't that a bit odd?
Mrs. Fretland is Scottish, though she grew up in Olesund.
Have you been secretly communicating with Johann's winsome wife, Edward dearest?
Certainly not.
इधर है चाची.
She was the one who wrote me, because Mr. Fretland's English
I was
isn't as...
only joking. Lighten up, old sport. Don't be such a pill.
अच्छा कांच गायब है. अरे अच्छा है. भाग इसमें कैद हो गई.
Oof, that's a grim sight, old bean.
अरे भाई बाहर निकल, कब तक घूरेगा?
I'm exhausted and soaked to the bone.
Let's get you to bed.
We'll wait for the Fretlands. It's only courteous. Betty,
भाई डरा दी
Have
थी.
you gone screwy again, Teddy? That's not Betty.
Her
That's...
scarf. I'd know it anywhere.
It doesn't look like anything to me. It
She
just
bought it in
looks like...
Bloomingdale's
इसमें भी काला
for
जादू चल
Christmas
रहा है.
before last. When she came home that year, she showed it off, dancing around the sitting room until I got dizzy watching her.
I think you're misremembering. She couldn't make it home that year. Again.
क्या हो गया भाई?
No, I'm. You're wrong. I'm sure she was there. Look, it is her scarf. It
मैच
even
कर रहा है उस
smells
पे
like her perfume.
काला जादू क्या गया है?
Shalimar.
But what if that's
She's
not?
here. I'm finally going to find her.
That's great, Edward. Really,
तू है कौन रे?
I wouldn't want you to get your hopes up. I mean, where's everyone gone to? Something's not right. I'm telling you. Teddy?
क्योंकि ये सुई कुछ हो इसलिए कुछ हो रहा है.
Lightheaded, that's all.
You're having another spell. You know what happens when you exert yourself. Sit down. That's an order from your commander.
Yes. Fine.
बैठ जा,
Just
तू
need
से थक चुका है तो.
Catch my
मैं
breath.
क्यों थक रहा है?
Just for a moment.
I want you to lie down. Lie down and close your eyes. It's been a strenuous day. What with the rowing and the dragging of the suitcase up the hill.
Well, what if the
I'll keep an eye out. I promise. If they come home, I'll wake you.
ना मतलब तू
No.
भागेगी
Lie down.
मतलब खोजने के चक्कर में
Close
सब
your
मरेंगे.
eyes. Breathe deeply.
I'm just going to.
और अब कोई यहाँ नहीं है. बस.
Elizabeth? Is that you?
गई ये भी. असली हॉरर तो
Betty?
रात को स्टार्ट होता है.
Lissy? Lissy, are you here? Alice? Where are you? Hello?
अरे बाप रे.
Hey, who's there?
ऐसा डरा देगी.
Elizabeth? Wait!
स्टार्ट कर दिए ये लोग फाड़ना.
Lissy, there's someone outside. It might be Betty. Are you here, Lissy? Are you in here, Lissy?
अंदर नहीं गया मतलब ऊपर जाएगा.
Lissy, are you upstairs?
अरे ऊपर नहीं जा रहा है भाई. मैं ऊपर लेके जाऊंगा तेरे को.
Lissy, are you upstairs?
कोई नहीं है. बाहर जाके देखें.
Who's out there? Hello? Betty? Lissy? Betty? Alice? Alice, where are you? Are you out there, Betty? Can you hear me?
कोई तो अचानक से आएगा और मेरी हालत खराब हो जाएगी.
Where are you?
ये भी गई. टट्टी है.
Not alone.
गोबर दिख रहा है तो. भाई बाहर. अब अंदर जाने का भी कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है.
Elizabeth! Lissy? Betty? Alice? Alice, where are you?
5-10 नाम बोल दे रहा है.
Can you... I can hear you!
भाई कौवा है वो.
Who goes there? Wait!
बस जाओ भूत को पकड़ो अब। तू तो ऐसे ही हाँफने लग गया, कहीं बैठ जा आराम से चचा।
Someone there? Hello?
तो बकरी थे, तो दिखा हुआ था पहले से।
Are you there? Betty, is that you?
गया। उड़ जा भाई उड़ जा, चश्मा उठा और उड़ जा।
Elizabeth, are you there?
कोई
The
आ रहा है?
boat, Edward! Where's our boat?
Lissy,
अब यहाँ तक आ गए हो तो बाहर नहीं जा पाओगे।
where did you go? Why did you leave me?
It stopped raining and you were sleeping, and our boat, it's gone.
The boat... What? How?
Maybe you didn't secure it properly.
I pulled it up. I don't know.
यहीं मरोगे रे दोनों,
I did securely, but-
यहीं पर मरोगे।
Did you see Betty?
Did I see? What are you talking about?
I think... Betty? It was Betty. It was her. It must have been her. I saw her face in the window, and she vanished into the dark towards the sea. You really didn't see anyone.
I haven't seen a single soul.
अरे तू इसी को देखा होगा।
Are you sure it was
या भूत
her
को
and
देखा
Yes.
होगा।
not?
I mean, I saw her face, and it looked like her.
Well, if it was her, why did she run away?
I don't know. It's getting dark. Back to the house.
चल
And
घर
tomorrow-
चल घर
Tomorrow's
चल।
another day. Teddy. We'll figure it out. Right
तो
now,
चलना वहाँ क्यों
let's
रुकी
get you
है?
cleaned up. Look at you. You've got mud all over yourself.
अच्छा
And
गिरा
then
था
you
उसके
really
लिए।
need to sleep. You must be exhausted. Come on.
तू लेके जाएगी अब घर। अच्छा वो पहला दिन था, आज दूसरा दिन। दिन में तो ज़्यादा टेंशन नहीं है, बाकी वो फिर से गायब है।
I will find you again.
अगेन पहले ही भागी है मतलब।
Teddy, come outside. It's a beautiful day. I just about given up on you ever waking
वाओ
up. Sleep well?
I dreamed of Betty. She was in the garden, and she called for me.
क्या सीन है भाई।
How about you, Lissy dearest? Oh, you know me, old fruit, wide awake at first light.
The Fretlands didn't come home, did they?
They did not. There's no sign of anyone. Aside from last night's mistwalker.
I've been thinking about that.
He is still confused about the previous evening. Could it be Elizabeth out there in dark?
What?
If he confused about what was the real, what was the imagine? So he is still confused about what. So he is right.
It looked like Betty. I was so sure. She wouldn't have run away. It makes no sense. Perhaps it was no one. Just the night playing tricks.
Oh, there must be someone here. And I'm not talking about ghosts. Or goats. What was it you said yesterday? Maybe they're peeking at us through the windows.
I'll take a
हो
gander.
सकता है.
The Fretlands will be home soon.
सब मर गए हैं, कोई
Betty's
नहीं आएगा.
here. I know it. I feel it.
If you say so, Teddy
Period
Bear.
मतलब भूल बन चुका
Have you
है.
had your noodle juice yet?
I'm not rummaging through their cupboard.
Where are you going?
All right. I'm not rummaging through their cupboards.
You'll be a pill without your tea and toast, old bean. We need to get you sorted.
I'm not hungry. First point on the agenda. Find the natives.
A mission! Hot dog! I'll scout ahead. I'll meet you down by those houses.
अरे रुक जा, मैं तो थक जाऊंगा ऐसे.
Let's uncover your secrets, Grovik.
ये ऊपर में घर है, जहाँ है नीचे जाएंगे तो लेफ्ट जाएगा, एक राइट जाएगा, एक लेफ्ट जाएगा, ठीक है. और वहाँ पर बोट नहीं है. पढ़ ले. I hope this letter finds you well. My husband Johan and I received a letter from July 9th. We would like to extend an invitation to visit our home this October. Do not worry about being inconvenienced as we have only one child, our daughter Ruth. We have come for a visit. We were troubled to hear of your sister's disappearance. Unfortunately, I have no news to share, nor I do believe she is landed in Gravik yet. I have made inquiries and shall send you another letter if there's word. I am certain she is alright, however, and that she is simply delayed on her journey. In regards to your travel, I am afraid there's no longer a ferry from to Gravik, so you will need to find your own transport of Zod. When you arrive, you will find our farm on top of the hill. There's a road from the landing and up past the general store. Our farmhouse won't be hard to see. It's the largest house in the village. Please write again when you have settled on your travel plan. Or say a word of your sister. My husband and I am very much look forward to seeing you here in October. Yes, Anna Fretland. अभी तो एक ही पेज है बस. गई कहाँ है?
Where are you, Lissy?
Right by the village houses.
अच्छा उधर चल दिया. अपन ज़्यादा घूमेंगे. क्या सीन है यार, मतलब इसको बोलते हैं जन्नत. भले गांव है और भुताहा है. हेलो रिंकू, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम ब्रो.
Hey, eyes up here.
अरे ऊपर चढ़ गई ये तो.
Such a beautiful day. You could bottle and sell this air in Boston. It's frankly medicinal.
Careful you don't fall.
You suck the fun out of everything, old boy.
We're far from any doctor. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
That's not very likely, is it?
Thought
सही
you
है.
were scouting ahead.
ऐसे जगह में हॉरर फिल्म कौन बनाता है भाई?
Vantage point. Where are you going?
अब क्या तू ही घूमेगी? मैं नहीं घूमूं.
As I was saying, what do you think I'm doing? Vantage point, like on a pirate ship. I can probably see our house in Hanover from here.
Did you check those buildings?
Knocking on doors isn't a scout's job, old bean.
There must be someone around.
Only one way to find out, old sport. Did you check all the houses?
अब सब घर चेक करेंगे.
Hello? Anyone here?
Why, hello, Mr. American. No one home?
डायरेक्ट घर में घुसो, पूछो मत.
Who's there? Hello? Anyone home? September 21st, 1923. Vi desperata. Lissy, found something here.
जल्दी आ.
Escalated from words to stones. Blood has been spilled. The curse haunts us all. There is no hope left in Gudsforlata. Good God. Right. In this God-forsaken place. The death of the Jiminy. Death of the children was the end of Grovik. Whatever remained of our souls departed with them. You should see this, Lissy. The letter just trails off. It was never sent.
अब बाहर देखते हैं निकल यहाँ से.
Did you see this door closing?
It was just the wind, teddy bear. You're as skittish as a pussycat. There's one more house. Third time's the charm.
Third time is the charm. चलो यहाँ भी देख लेते हैं.
Anyone home?
Unless they're playing hide and go seek, I'd say that's a no. Three strikes, you're out.
I don't think anyone's been home for a while. Someone painted the word traitor on one of the doors.
उधर.
And there was a letter. It sounded
Letter.
foreboding.
Well, you were wrong. The villagers are not indoors.
बेहतरीन. So, Ali Jabal is reason he is there and he can't be afraid of that. Finish more part of village. There's some like a fly buzzing in his head. There's no good reason for it to
I
run it.
still don't understand what happened to the boat.
Why don't we investigate?
भाई अंधेरा हो रहा है.
Maybe it's even drifted back to shore by now.
Unlikely. But I would like to know how it got unmoored.
Well, it's a bright and beautiful day, and we have nothing better to do.
What on earth are you doing?
Handstands, Teddy. My record is 2 minutes. I'm working on 3.
अरे बाप रे.
Just go on ahead. I'll catch up.
इधर से शॉर्टकट है.
How about we don't go back to Hanover and stay here instead?
And how would I survive?
Hunt, harvest, forage.
Applesauce.
Why lock any doors? I can't imagine they have a problem with punks and hoodlums.
The sign says they're
सही बात है.
closed, but I thought maybe... Hello? Are you open?
Fretland and
Frederick, Fretland, and Son.
They had a memorial service for the accident in the mine. On July, the telegraph is out of order.
Well, there goes my plan. NOSOS.
They had a memorial service for the accident in the mine. The ferry route is no longer operating.
Rats!
Mrs. Fretland already informed me in her letter.
I know. Still warrants a resounding rats.
I wonder why it stopped running.
Look around.
अभी
How
तो
many
second
people
day
live
चल
here?
रहा है.
20? 30? Like,
ये रहा बोट.
Teddy! Hot dog! This is our ticket out of here!
Not without Betty.
With some dismay, Edward observed that food is rotten. It was since this boat was severely. Had noticed to keeping on in the port.
Besides, the woods rotted through. This boat isn't seaworthy. It's curious. The state of the boats. It's like they stopped taking care of them.
Seems short-sighted.
James,
How
सब
would
मर
they
गए
fish?
हैं. सब मर गए. सब. जब बोल दूसरी
There's no
करीबन है.
damage to the rope.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody cut it. I guess the knot could have unraveled on its own.
Didn't you say you used a sailor's knot?
I'm a scholar, not a fisherman.
So, who took our boat? A ghost?
Tries academic, not practical, but it makes sense that it could have taken the boat. The short, but no kind
Not a
of
ghost,
current
then
boat.
a goat? The goat's
Head
road?
current extended in night,
There
whatever.
must be a logical explanation.
सही बात है.
It's safe to say no ghost in the night stole our boat.
If you say so. But then who were you chasing after last night? I mean, you thought it was Betty,
No.
but
No,
इधर तो जा नहीं सकते, पूरा जाम है. तो पैसा कौन बनाता है कि एंट्री नहीं है घर में.
Lissy, are you here?
yeah.
नहीं दिख रहा ही नहीं, इसको तो अंधा हो गया है. आगे वाले घर में देखते हैं. कोड तो यहाँ दिखा.
What's this?
Remnants of the mining operation.
What, mine?
Remember, I told you yesterday. There was a mine here, but it closed down 20 years ago.
I know, Edward. I was just checking for a sense of humor. Still nowhere to be found.
तू मर चुकी क्या? मेरे को डाउट हो रहा है. I think you are dead. You are dead.
Where do these tracks lead?
To the mine. Where else would they go?
I don't understand why they just leave this here. Like an altar to adversity. It's creepy.
ये
Rustic superstition. Perhaps they believed they'd attract bad luck if they moved it.
फिल्मेने this. अरे कौन सा लैंग्वेज है यार, नहीं
It's a
पता. निकल.
memorial. 3 men died when the mine collapsed
इतना
in
बेहतरीन सीन दे
1902.
दिया और हॉरर गेम बोल दिया इसको.
Georg Hatlestad, Niels Framberg, Arne
Yeah.
Fretland.
See, this is what working a regular job. Did you say Fretland?
The younger brother who was mentioned in the article. The newspaper said the accident forced the mine to shut down.
इतना दिमाग लगा
What
रहा है
does
सर
any
लोग.
of this have to do with us?
I still don't know why Elizabeth came here.
What did they use this for?
Bringing the ore down from the mine before it was
अब
loaded
माइन
onto
जाके
boats.
देखते हैं भाई.
So-
वही करोगा जो भूत होगा.
No trespassing for traitors.
Cool. Want to jump the gate and explore what's on the other side?
Yep.
The
डेंजरस है
sign
पर.
says no trespassing for a reason.
Come on! There may be trolls, or at least more houses. Where's your sense of adventure, old sport? Don't you want to see where these tracks go?
They lead to the old mine, and no. I've had enough adventure on this side of the fence. Besides, they wrote no trespassing for a reason.
You're such a
ट्रैक यहाँ
terrible
तक है.
bore,
फिर
teddy
यहाँ
bear.
से स्टार्ट हुआ.
I'll wager 1,000 clams you'll jump this gate at some point, if you believe Betty's on the other side.
Frederick Fretland. Who are these traitors he refers to?
What now? We've looked everywhere.
अरे अपन सबटाइटल कर सकते हैं यार. ओके. ठीक है सब ठीक है. Reality, run.
There really doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Maybe we missed something. An important clue. How about the general store? We haven't been inside yet.
It looked deserted, but worth another look, I guess.
कौन सा जनरल स्टोर वो? जनरल मैप तो है नहीं इसमें कि जनरल स्टोर दिखेगा. तू आ रही है छोरी? अरे कौवा बहुत वो चल रहा है इसमें.
Frederick, Fretland, and son.
Johann's brother and nephew.
The Fretlands have their fingers in all the pies, including the only store in town.
Also the post office and telegraph. There may be something that'll lead us to Betty in there.
Or at least to some canned sardines. We need to get you fed, old friend.
Is that? Listen, come here. It's Betty's hat. She was here. She could still be in there.
हाँ
Betty?
उसको दफना दिया वो बॉक्स
Betty?
में.
Are you sure, Edward? I mean, it's just a hat. Is it even a hat?
I
I'm not
know my
sure
sister's hat, Lissy. I have to get inside.
What about the breaking and entering part?
I could care less what they call it.
अब तो तोड़ के घुसेंगे.
Here's an
Yeah,
open window.
same.
You seem eager to break the law. I approve.
It won't budge.
Nah, don't be a milquetoast.
Well, it's stuck.
Attaboy, Teddy. You can do this.
Okay. We will do it.
I can't believe I'm actually breaking. Whoops, Daisy.
Oh my, Teddy. You're such a sap.
जो अंदर भी चल दी हम बाहर में ही रह गए. चल भाई कब तक बैठेगा.
Tanty, world traveler, cat burglar.
A cat burglar would, by definition, enter a building on a higher
Jeez.
floor.
The state of this place.
Oh, Betty,
Edward,
I hope you weren't here when...
is this blood?
Not necessarily human blood.
Well, that's all right then. What does it say?
क्या बात है?
Barn murder?
पूरा
Someone murdered a barn?
Barn means child. And mortar, that's...
Child murder. Edward,
Okay.
they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store.
I'm not sure how I feel about being in here.
Don't be ridiculous. We're all alone. What else do you suggest we do?
चल फिलहाल तो जाके देखते हैं हो रहा क्या है अंदर.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it
और
anymore.
टैब ड्रिफ्ट.
These were never sent.
How long have they been piling up?
I received Mrs. Fretland's letter in June, and they received my letter from July.
A couple of months. Perhaps the world
और अभी
forgot
अक्टूबर
about
चल रहा है.
Damnation. The hat's in here.
Calm down, old boy.
चाबी दे चाबी चाबी चाबी
Anyway,
चाबी
how's a
चाबी.
hat going to help us?
Who knows what else is in here? There could be more clues.
All right. Okay.
Why would Frederick keep a list of what he calls traitors?
What did they do to him?
Cross him in some way. Why else keep a list of undesirables?
Shit list. बोल दे.
All right. Okay. Everything's Jake. We made it into the store. I'm sure we'll find a way through that door. S.
से दो.
O-S.
किधर दिख गया तेरे को?
These were never sent.
How long have they been piling up?
I received Mrs. Fretland's letter in June,
ठीक है मत बता बार बार.
and they received my letter from July.
A couple of months. Perhaps the world forgot about Grovik.
चाबी दे दे. चाबी दे दे. चाबी. कुछ तो है. हुक्का है
What are you
बस.
doing?
Looking for keys.
Your life of crime continues.
The keys are all gone.
Some thieving thieves beat you to it. Rascals.
There's a note.
Is it written in Viking runes? What does it say?
पढ़ ले भाई.
It's from Simon. Casa. I don't know what that word means. Yai put it means I put. Nyckel is key.
He put the key in the casa?
Casa. I wish I had my dictionary. The note's addressed to his father.
So the key was moved. But where to?
Somewhere safer. Or more convenient.
Can we really trust your translations? You only started studying a month ago.
I spent the summer reading, and I had a lot of free time on the out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it anymore.
चाबी तो इधर ही है वो रहा इसके पीछे
It's been cut. Why?
To remove someone from the picture.
That's just rude.
It's from the opening of the mine in 1897. That's Frederick, Johann's brother.
And the boy could be the younger brother who died.
Frederick clearly did not want anything to do with his twin brother.
खुल जा सेम सेम अबे बाहर नहीं जाएगा क्या नहीं जाएगा तो खुलेगा नहीं यहाँ कुछ है नहीं road till Simon चाबी दे दो
Casa.
So that's what it means. Cash register.
अच्छा कैश
You're a genuine gangster now, old fruit. Don't worry. If you get busted, I'll come visit you in the big house. The vandals weren't here for the money.
I think money was the last thing on their minds.
Wasn't
अपन
there
ले लेंगे
supposed to be a
पैसा।
key?
Here it is.
कितना टाइम लगेगा उठाने में फाइनली मिल गया अभी तो सवेरा ही है रात भी होगा बिंगो
It is her hat.
Teddy, I'm not
Betty
sure
was
that's...
here. And not long ago.
Okay, but if that is her hat, what's it doing in a locked storeroom?
Another breadcrumb.
That's not an answer.
I know for sure she was here. That's what matters.
You know best, Edward. So, what now? If this is a breadcrumb, where's the next one?
There must be a reason her hat's in this room.
पढ़
What's
ले
that?
पढ़ ले पढ़
A
ले
handwritten note.
I'm not blind. What does it say, you silly goose?
It's hard to read. I'm not sure my translation will be... Johann, you...
nectar
Nectar.
nectar means refuse
Refuse. You refuse to speak to me, so I write this letter instead. It's from Frederick Fretland to his brother. Simon did not... Bloody hell. Simon did not murder your Ruth. He was fond of his cousin.
Ruth. Ruth is the daughter of Anna and
Not
Johann,
Johann.
which means the little girl in the photograph at the farmhouse. Oh, Edward. The Fretland girl was murdered. is simply awful.
Simon was working at the farm while I tended to the store. I would have seen him had he passed on the way up to the cliffs.
They thought Simon killed Ruth,
इसलिए उसको मार दिए
his
नहीं
own
मारे होंगे
cousin.
Ruth was... what's that word? Playing. Ruth was always playing on the rocks below the church. She must have fallen by accident. The note ends there. Frederick never finished it. And Johann never read it. Not that it would have made a difference. If Johann
The
thought...
mob showed up for Simon. His father would have tried to protect him.
September 17th. You would have been here, Betty.
Rocks below the church. Isn't the church right above us? Edward,
अबे
come look at this.
शाम हो रहा है
That's the cliff. Right there. The one in the note? I bet you a million clams.
कहाँ
Where?
See for yourself.
I guess that could be where...
Let's check it out.
No, Lissy, wait.
अबे किधर दिख गया तेरे को
This way.
इतना आगे आगे भाग जाएगी तू
I found it, Teddy. The cliff. I'm standing right below it.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
A
us.
little girl died. We're staying in her home, for God's sake. Are you completely without heart? Get yourself up here, Edward Harden, right this minute. Come on, it's an easy climb.
This looks very dangerous.
Oh, you're a big boy. Start acting like it. It's not Mount Everest.
I don't know about this. Whoopsie-daisy.
it's upside down not upside daisy so
What is this?
Where little Ruth died.
You're being morbid. And this is a distraction. I'm here for Betty, not because some girl
Edward.
got herself...
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. Please look at me when I'm talking to you.
बोल सुना रही थी ना
All right.
सुना
You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs to... please look at me when I'm talking to you.
मतलब सुनाएगा तो तेरा एक्सप्रेशन देखो
You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and years. There are other people in this world, you know. It's not all about you.
मारेगी
You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened to the poor girl. Together.
हाँ साथ में मरेंगे ठीक है टुगेदर
Something struck this bush. She must have landed on it when... on her way down.
That's ghastly, Edward.
It's a long fall. Far enough to crush the girl's skull.
Edward Charles Harden.
What?
Oh, you're hopeless.
Something struck this bush. She must have landed...
Where are you going?
अरे ऊपर नहीं जाएंगे क्या यही टाइम पास करना है
Is
अच्छा
that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood. That's been here a while.
Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful. I think there's something behind it. Can you move the rock aside?
वहाँ तेरे को अच्छा दिख गया क्या हाय पुतला है पुतला
It must be Ruth's.
Where's the head?
Maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. Looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong on a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin? Let's go further up. Maybe we'll find more clues.
let's go let's go
old sport. It's not far.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath?
भाग गई, अब क्या बोलना?
Did you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just stumbling through darkness?
अबे बकरी हर जगह क्यों आ रहा है?
You can see clear beyond the edge of the world.
One
Oh,
second.
teddy bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So, the girl fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean? Can you see where she fell? Seeing as you're so concerned about me falling out of trees, I wouldn't want to risk falling off a cliff.
If she fell headfirst on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward, honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
I'm not. What was she doing up here in the first place?
Playing? She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not.
और जाएंगे कहाँ?
I don't have time for this nonsense. We're running out of daylight, and Betty's still... You're still out there.
अच्छा वहाँ तक दौड़ के भाग गई.
Lissy, slow down. I can't keep up with you. Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy?
Teddy,
My word. Look away, Lissy.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
God forgive me.
What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother
Don't.
drowned herself? Sorry. Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back.
का पूरा
Let
परिवार
the
ही
poor
वैसा
soul
है.
rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. This is... It's tragic, but really none of my
Oh,
concern.
Betty, always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else.
Yep.
What if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves... Look at me when I'm talking to you.
बोल.
Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty. What are you doing? You can't just pull him down by his legs.
हाँ तो क्या करें?
Try loosening the noose.
I can't reach that far.
सारा काम मुझे ही करना पड़ता है. फांसी लगाओ भी, फांसी से उतारो भी. चर्च से चेयर लाया और यहाँ फांसी लगाया.
I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy, Edward, I know you can. You've been through much worse.
ठिकाने लगा दिए इसको फाइनली.
Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight,
They're not coming back.
perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened?
Perhaps she fell by accident.
So you don't think it was murder?
कुछ भी हो
It's difficult to
सकता
say
है.
with any certainty. The boy could have pushed her.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
All right. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck.
ये तो है.
I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking.
नहीं सोएंगे. बहुत बतिया लिए. तो किचन वाला रूम है. भाई पूरा सोने का बेहतरीन सा. पर ये तो सोएगा नहीं. बस रात हो रहा है अभी सब होगा जो होगा.
Where are you?
Over here, Teddy.
चल रहा था. पढ़ ले. This morning I had lemon juice in hot water with no sugar. Instead of tea, I also had half an apple and dried oat. I have been gaining weight lately. I read about this in the paper. It's apparently very popular in London. Okay, but I am dreadfully hungry and crave fried eggs and sausage. ये 3 का है फिर 4 का. We received an odd letter. After address to Johan is from an incident and I must have had one of man over whether the letter was well. I must have had received our information from the officer to the Spanish question of contacting Gravik. I do wonder why they gave not Fredericks. Perhaps because our dear Margaret is no longer with us and I am better. But to respond in English that Frederick. Mr. Harden inquired about his studies over the time I was telling you no. This is a journalist making that cross the Atlantic Ocean to write about Norway. It sounds wonderful. अच्छा सोलो ट्रिप पे आई थी. The letter said telegraphed her brother from Iceland to inform that she planned to visit Caswick while she had want to come to this dreary old place. I have no idea. There is nothing here was writing about anymore. His sister has not arrived yet. If she had, I would have tired her up. Question about America being a journalist or traveling the world on her own. She sounds so interesting. I hope she does. Even the guest was in Caribbean or spare room is really those I have to admit having a visitor from America sounds terribly exciting. This morning I had a boiled eggs and potato. Dr. John told me I was being silly and that I do not need to lose any weight seeing as we are not London and no one cares. सही बात है. क्यों इतना खा. अभी तो बजा देंगे हम मस्त पियानो. Draugen waltz, okay. क्या पढ़ने को बोल रहा है वापस इसको? अब क्या पूरा पढ़ेगा आदमी बैठे बैठे? I wrote Miss Arnold invited to state that how he decided to come. I'm terribly excited. I do worry for his sister. I wonder where so it could be. There was an argument in the shop earlier today. Frederick was yelling at poor Alfred, claiming their court. And I wanted to speak up, but knew it would only make him angrier. Johan went across the floor this morning to purchase some necessities, including knee carpet. Pick up the post. The letter have been piling up to stress. Him worries about has completely forgotten about us. I finished another dress today. This one is for myself. There are no customers anymore. No one here needs another dress, and it's been ages since we invited the city. I hardly know anyone there, and who would want their dress made in coffee. And they can have one. They don't enough. I feel honestly I miss my dear Margaret so much after all these years. I think Ruth is hiding something from me. She's been awfully. She goes off on her own even more than usual, and her clothes are filthy. I don't mind her playing and exploring, of course. I always did regret Margaret and not being allowed to run free when we were a little kid. Ruth says she's just looking for flowers and pretty rocks. I shouldn't worry so much. Simon stopped by today with a gift for Ruth. Okay, how old Bhatakthi? He's a sweet girl, but Frederick should be furious if he knew. I have to think she plays up with by Frederick's one or near the old man. She promised she doesn't. I have never heard. Not to trust her, but I still feel she's hiding something from me. बस खत्म. Looked at her drawing while she was out. She got such an imagination. Received another letter from Draugen. He'll be either in October as planned. I look forward to having some important mails to speak with him. This Johan is in good company, but we have little to converse about outside for daily routine. There's been no sign of Mr. Artis yet. If she left and weeks ago, we are supposed to be well have decided to stop along the way. We have heard nothing but we so rarely speak with every Kavik this is. I hope sure I would hate for Mr. Artis to come all the way to know well. Ruth is secretive. I know she's earning something on it. I will follow her. But just the second to take the car hasn't been back since the memorial. Service in July, Johan believes he won't be back and that he has given up for a week. He's carrying on. He went down with a cold. Someone damaged our boat during the night. That's the third one on this month. Johan suspects Frederick of course. I fear something popping on to the surface again after all these years. I'm not at all feeling well and spent most of yesterday entering bed. Ruth was sweet and brought me potato soup and tea with honey and milk. She has left us, our dearest. Ruth is gone. I cannot believe it was Simon doing. Two is now gone and with him all four Kavik had left in it. Okay. हो गया बस बस गेम में भी इतना पढ़ा दोगे यार. अब फिर इधर खोलने को बोल रहा है. बाहर कोई बस भूत देख लेगी तो हालत खराब हो जाएगा. ये तो पढ़ चुके हैं, कितने बार पढ़ेंगे. अबे डरा दी थी तू. क्या कर रही है?
I really thought I'd find Betty today.
I told you not to get your hopes up, Edward. I mean, we just got here. It's a big place. She could be anywhere.
It's just the thought of her alone out there in the dark.
She's a tough cookie. You're Betty. Tougher than you, teddy bear.
That she is.
अबे लास्ट में यही तो
What
नहीं
are
बन
you
जाएगी.
doing?
Betty will want these back.
I don't think it's healthy.
Not now, please. I'm exhausted.
It's the same photograph we saw in the store.
Except this one's whole.
So the brother who owns the store
Frederick.
was angry with Johan before
Before
Ruth. Because
Because of the mine. It all comes back to the mine.
the mine must have been a big deal for Greybook.
Grovik. An opportunity to do more than live hand to mouth.
What a blow it must have been to lose it all. It's the same photograph we saw in the store.
Except this one's whole.
So the brother who owns the store
Frederick.
was angry with Johann before Ruth.
Because of the mine. It all comes back to the mine.
You do look exhausted.
लास्ट में खुद
Go
बन
to bed,
जाऊंगा मैं
Edward. I'll tuck you in.
और तू ही मारेगी लग रहा है मेरे को तो लास्ट में
Quite the day, huh?
I'm ready to
Yep.
pass out. Where will you sleep?
I'll be up for a while. My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlands arriving.
Of course.
कहाँ से आएंगे
And I'll
आएंगे
keep my
बेटा?
eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There
अरे
are
ऐसा
no
मत बोल
Now, sleep.
तीसरा दिन
Lissy!
Upstairs. Teddy, is that you?
हाँ obviously
This is her room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then
yes
nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look. There's still no sign of the Fretlands.
Maybe they left town after Ruth died.
What's the point of this? I should be looking for Betty.
I hate you sometimes. Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8.
okay
That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear.
ये बात तो सही है
She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today?
ये क्या
Betty's not the
format
only
है?
person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth? Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
Forbidden.
Banelson,
Subang does
the
it.
curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out.
अरे इसी से तो सब मरे लग रहा है फिर पूरा गांव खाली हो चुका है
What is
वही
this?
वाकिंग वाला है
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. They belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys.
सही बात.
Wait! The pin. On the doll.
This is where it came from. Her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
A dig, a grave site. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
चल खोजते हैं कौन मर्डर किया है. हॉरर के नाम पे.
This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
हॉरर के नाम पे सरलोक बना दिए. निकलो डिटेक्टिव केस सॉल्व कर.
Draugen.
Hey, the undead monster from those folk tales you read.
What an odd book for a child to have.
I don't know. Children love scary stories. This looks interesting. Read some of it to me, please.
चलो भाई, यही बोर काम बचा है. हॉरर गेम में केस सॉल्व करो और कहानी पढ़ो.
In Norwegian folklore, the appearance of Draugen, the reanimated corpse of a drowned mariner, heralds death. Draugen haunts the black seas in a shattered boat.
अच्छा
The
अपना
beast
बोट
has
यही
a
ले गया है.
man's body and wears a sou'wester. But instead of a head,
और इसी से मिला उसको
there is
बॉक्स.
tangled seaweed. And
Case
the
solved.
revenant's chilling cry freezes mortal blood to ice.
What fun. Kids solved.
Draugen has the power to enter the dreams of the living. If you wake from such a dream, you have been spared, though someone close to you... That's enough of that. It's nonsense, of course. Not something a child should be reading.
Do you think Draugen took our boat? Maybe he's out there, on the fjord,
चलो खोजते
waiting for
हैं
nightfall so
ये.
he can return to shore.
No.
And your soul lacks poetry, Edward Charles Harden. I pity you.
Saul Lex poetry. I love poetry.
She made her bed that morning,
यहाँ से निकले अब.
before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today? Betty's not the only person in the world
अच्छा
that
इसको यहाँ से
matters.
मिला था खजाना. माइंड
She
से.
matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth?
और माइंड भी इसी कारण
She
से गिरा
found
होगा
something.
फिर.
Where's that supposed to be?
The cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
Her Viking treasure. Of course.
चल 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 चल. माइंड जाना ही पड़ेगा. निकल यहाँ से.
There's a story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
She didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic
This is what
events.
happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled. And
चर्च.
is that a bell?
Church bell. Someone's here. Maybe Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps
भाई
she's in
जा
trouble.
जाके देखना पड़ेगा.
I need to get to the church right now.
Isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night?
I told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think that.
चर्च जल्दी. तक तो भाग जाएगा जो भी होगा वहाँ से. बहुत दूर है. अरे उधर से भी जा सकते थे ऊपर से ही. नीचे फोकट का है. बस भूत ना मिले वहाँ. भाई पानी आवाज मत कर डर लगता है. अब यहाँ से चढ़ने नहीं देगा। पहले तो जंप बोल दे रहा था। अरे यार, घूम के जाना पड़ जाएगा। ए, बजाना बंद क्यों कर दिया रे? बजते रहना चाहिए। ये बकरी हर जगह दिख रहा है।
Where are you, Lissy? Lissy!
पहुंच भी गई, नहीं पहुंची है।
July 24th. Memorial service.
All these fresh graves.
अरे अचानक से तू आ जाए, तू ही डरा देती है।
Why board up a church?
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Can you peek through the boards?
कौन है?
See anyone?
No,
Listen. The bell. They're still in there.
Hello? I heard the bell.
This is giving me
I'm
the
here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
बस ये आंखों के सामने अंधेरा क्यों छा गया?
The Ethel becomes an Edward. Didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. What's this rope for?
The bell. Lissy. Look. Betty's gloves.
उठा रहे, उठा उठा।
They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
Pete's
these
sake.
in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day she... She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves. Her
मिरर
hat.
में है या फिर उस
She's left a
पुतले में है?
trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a lab.
Betty will have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill. What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here. Their faith, they considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it.
The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you.
कुछ तो कहानी है।
I've never seen you read the Bible before.
For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Old English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes.
For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic. Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic.
They considered this a sacred place.
जब
What
यहाँ
are
से
you
निकलो
doing? We're in a church.
Thought you didn't. This is the bell we heard ringing?
I don't see any other bells.
So you have to stand here and pull this rope to ring it.
Yes,
But there was no one here. You didn't see anyone, right? What's that?
the last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language.
बड़बड़ा बड़बड़ा
He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's
God
house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune. It sounds like Grovik was split in two, between those who stood by Johann and those who
Okay.
supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Tilly Verandre.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly. But I wonder if they were even here.
Well, they were twin brothers. They must have been close once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us.
The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you. Jesus looks sad.
What? They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. The church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And, Elizabeth.
she was dead.
I mean, if she was dead,
Her name would be in the book.
पलट 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 एक ही बंदा मरा है आज तक
vandals. Tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look,
ये तो शुरू में ही दिख गया था
how many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me. I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are. Found another one. You get it. It's right here. Just one more page missing.
इधर कहीं है इधर कहीं इधर कहीं
2 for 2. A tie. Good job, Teddy.
Stop
Old bean.
What
Lucy.
for two
This is not a
तीन
game.
खो जा मैं जीता भाग
Betty's out there.
Of horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Betty, 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 will you ever shut up about your precious Betty? Put those pages back in the book, and I'll stop trying to cheer you up.
तो फाइनली अपने पास
This
लिस्ट है
book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the 3rd Fretland brother. The one who died in a cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse.
So
That
banners.
word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
Mod क्या है?
Look here. Ruth Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh,
बेचारा दोनों भाई बहन मतलब
Drowned.
गए हैं.
The day after Ruth died. Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mort?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say.
भाई
After
बहन
the
मरे,
children,
उसका बड़ा भाई मरा है, मतलब
half
दो
dozen
लोग बचे
deaths in
होंगे.
a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom. For
Traitor.
एक पेज और इसमें
Edward?
लिखकर
What's wrong?
Final entry. There's no name. Alice. What if
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty?
It doesn't mean she's...
She's not dead. She can't be. I'd know. I'd know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me! Edward!
You better not be here, Betty. I'll never forgive you. Where is it? I don't see it. They all look the same. This one. It's
कोई नाम नहीं है.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward, stop it!
Thank God. It's not her. It's not
बेटा अब
Betty.
यही आएगी रात को
It's
मारने.
not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
It's not Elizabeth. I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister like
Or
that.
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us?
अरे
You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just leave me be.
तेरा कोई मार देगा निकाल. अबे
Lizzie? Alice? Come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back.
अबे वो भी मर चुकी है.
I need you. Lizzie? Where are you? Lizzie? Alice?
अबे ये क्या चल रहा है? ये मतलब अकेले आया है यहाँ तक.
Alice? Please.
साला तभी मैं सोचा लोग टाइम पास थोड़ी कर रहे थे इधर से. कुछ तो होगा. दो लोग मतलब ये अकेले पूरा आ गया है. या तो अकेला आ गया है या वो मर चुकी है. अब यहाँ है
I
अचानक से
was
कैसे गायब
afraid
हो
you
गई
left me. Now listen to me.
Excuse me.
No!
अबे ये कुछ नया चीज है अबे क्या मजाक चल रहा है तू भूत क्यों बन गई
Listen.
ये मतलब उसका
Hey.
इमेजिनेशन है
Listen. Please listen to me.
All you want is for her to stay
I
for
didn't
things,
mean
help
what
her
I said.
today.
Of course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish she was!
Don't.
You deserve to be alone!
अकेला ही है मतलब भाई क्या हो रहा है अब
Please. Talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
this part of me he knows
You think you own me? That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day? That I'm your puppet? Your little plaything?
नहीं रहे
Well, fuck you, Edward Charles Harden! I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase!
Now, be reasonable.
अबे क्या हो रहा है यार साले बकरी तू हर जगह दिख रहा है
What are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate this.
Now listen to me. Please listen. Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me. I need you. I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no. What? No!
अबे
Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please.
गायब हो जा
you're
गायब
all right.
हाँ
Please don't.
You make me sick, Edward. Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you. We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No, Never. Never. I never forget.
क्या
I
हुआ
am never alone.
कौन सा सपना देख रहा था
Wake up, Edward. Stop hiding. You are right in fearing for her. You cannot hide from us.
Where's Lissy?
Alice is not here.
Bring her back. Please. I need her.
Alice does not love Elizabeth like you do.
She loves me.
Not like I do, Edward.
तू कौन है
So
सच्ची
tired. Please.
What do you want?
I think of you so often. You have no idea.
You just want me to forgive you so that we can keep looking for your precious, perfect Betty.
She needs us.
She never needed you, Teddy Bear. And she certainly doesn't need us.
I can't find her on my own.
Well, It's just too bad, my darling Edward. Because we're done playing second fiddle to little sis.
Wait, don't go. I'm talking to you, Lissy. Oh.
ये क्या जादुई पावर क्या है तेरे पास?
Lissy, please. Listen, you can't keep vanishing on me.
Try me.
Why are you so angry?
You do not know anger, Edward.
Did you ever meet my father?
Alice does not want to speak with you.
And what about you? Are you going to help me?
God helps those who help themselves.
I don't need God's help. I need Lissy.
Do you, though? Did you ever?
What? Of course,
अबे तीन रूम है आपका। इधर नहीं है। ये रूम खुलेगा नहीं। मैं भी बैठ के पियानो बजाते रहूंगा आराम से। इसका डॉल है। रात हो गया क्या कि शाम है? क्या तो यहाँ है या बाहर है?
Alice, hear me out. Don't go. I depend on you both.
You can never depend on other people, Edward.
I'm not sure you count as other people.
Everyone leaves, one way or another.
You don't. You can't.
Is that a challenge?
Stop playing games.
Are you ordering me, teddy bear?
I'm asking you.
Didn't your father always tell you to stand up for yourself? To be a real man and not a sissy? Maybe that's why he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Kaboom!
अच्छा
He was so disappointed about what his only son had turned
माँ भी
into.
मरी, उसका बाप भी मरा।
Takes one to know one. Old freak.
पानी गिरने लगा। अभी ऊपर गई है वो।
I gave you this jacket. Betty. You were here.
अरे क्या नाटक है?
Lissy, I'm tired of chasing you. Alice, be reasonable. I'm trying to talk to you. Lissy, look. Her jacket. I'm sure it wasn't here yesterday, which
Jesus
means
Christ,
Betty was
Teddy.
here. Perhaps when we were out yesterday.
Betty,
She must have...
Betty.
You love Betty more than you love us. But don't you see? What has Betty done that we haven't? What can she do that we cannot? We've always been there for you. Why do you keep looking for her?
She's real. You're not.
So?
What? You decide what is real We are real to you.
It will never be the same.
She does not want you.
Who are you talking
Why do you think Betty left? She was sick and tired of us. She wanted to escape.
Like mother.
Drowning herself because she couldn't stand being around us.
Like father.
Bang! Right in the coconut.
Stop.
You drive them all away, Edward. All into death.
But not us. We're always here for you.
I beg you.
You are never alone.
Stop! Leave me alone, both of you!
You want to be alone?
You really want to be alone?
अरे मत डरो ऐसे.
Fine. You're alone.
Good.
Lissy.
मतलब क्या क्या वो कुछ समझ में नहीं आया अभी वाला तो. वो गायब हुई फिर समझ में आया. अब तो पुतला भी आके बात कर रहा है.
Come back. Please. Don't leave me.
अकेला भाई कैसे जिएगा?
I lied. I don't want you to leave me alone.
भाई डरा दी थी. लगता है ये पूरा डाल डाल के फिर ये कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. अच्छा ये काला जादू जो नहीं है फिलहाल तो नहीं है. और क्या बचा? टोपी टोपी. अभी क्या हो रहा है? अब अचानक से जिंदा मत हो जाना प्लीज.
Betty? Elizabeth?
नहीं अभी तो इतना ही तक
Is that
खेलेंगे.
you?
बाकी का बाद में. 2 दिन और झेलना है. ठीक है मिलते हैं कुछ दिन बाद. ओके.
Are you upstairs?
ये एक शॉट में इतना ही ठीक है.